Hey everyone, welcome to my latest video for Sugar Melts. I've been wanting to make this card with you for quite a while and excuse me, everything got so busy. I had a couple of orders for cards, Mother's Day cards, and then getting my Father's Day cards ready. But here we are. So really happy to show you how this card comes together. This is a card probably for more, somebody who's maybe a little more advanced, has a few more tools in their kit, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. This is a nice card for really special people in your life. Christmas card when you want to put baby photos in there, this is great for office environment when you have numerous people that want to sign the card. So there's different ways of making this, and which is partly why it's taking me so long to get this together. So I wanted to have all the different ways to show you. And this the original base of this card I saw on a video from Jan B Cards. She does some really nice videos. So I took her base card and then made a few more modifications off of it. So again, depending on how you like your card to come together, this will give you a great jumping off place. So in her video, kind of like this, we start with a tab. So you can elevate kind of your pop-up here with just some, the pop-ups there. And then this tag will fit really nicely underneath it. We'll make one like that today. And then it opens up and you've got here, look at this. It's like a little book card. It's like a little notebook. And this one, like hers also, I used as the inner binding, a larger piece of patterned paper, DSP, Designer Series paper. And then as you can see here, by scoring to make the mountain and valley, you can then secure some cardstock and other pretty paper to give it more of that notebook, a little book. So there's places in here you could put corner tabs for photos. You could add other pages, which is what I had done for my recent order, for people to have places to sign when you have a large office. That's really helpful. And then unlike hers, one thing I did was I secured the tab. I like to do that underneath the paper. I don't like it sitting on the outside. I feel like it's an opportunity for it to snag or get caught. So I secure that underneath and then make sure it's on secured so that it can go underneath nice and easily. So we'll go through that one. A couple of the ways that I changed it then, you can also, of course, do it with a belly band. Super easy to do a belly band there. Again, you just pop something on the outside there, give it a little decoration. Using up all these different pretty papers, I really mixed it up on this one, all different patterns in here. And you can do as much or as little decorating as you want. And then you just put your belly band back on top here, set that to the side. And then the third way that I'll show you is how to use with a ribbon so that you've got this nice tie on the outside here. So pretty, really easy. And then, and you can do whatever you want then on the front. You've got these openings here. Love this reindeer paper, so cute. And just highlight all the different patterns and paper stamps. You can, if you don't even have different papers that you're working through, you can just break out your stamps and make your own, kind of one sheet wonders here and break them down. So that's 3 different ways to make this. And I'll show you, I've done a few others here. I used the same basic paper and then did one in all 3 different colors in the background of the paper. So I've got this here in this beautiful, I think it's called Seaside Spray. I haven't finished, I don't think, decorating the inside. I haven't really done much. A couple little pieces here with a snowflake cutout on the outside. Highland Heather, again, snowflake on the outside, keep it easy. And lots of pretty paper on the inside. Use my stamps there to give myself a place to write my Christmas card. And then I also did it in navy blue. And there we go again, just really pretty all the way through. So as you can see, a lot of potential here for continued creativity and how you want to decorate. So I'll walk you through today what this will look like. And this is the card we're gonna make right now. It's gonna look like this. So this first one is Bellyband, just because it's not technically challenging to get that on. You can do that with any card, of course. So I went ahead and made this one. And I used in the background that larger piece of DSP all the way through. If you don't have a large piece of DSP or designer series paper or pattern paper, the other way you can do that, and I did it, let's see, I did it with this card. If you can see inside the binding up here, I just used 2 small pieces on the back thing, and then I used cardstock and folded it with the mountain and valley and secured the paper to that. So I'll show you that way also. So the differences in, oops, sorry, my thing jumped there. The difference is you've got 3 ways to secure it. You can either use Bellyband, look at the ties. I'll also show you the tag, which is the way Jan does it. And on the inside, when you're securing, when you're mounting your different pages, you can either use 1 long sheet for the back. Also, that was from Jan's video, or I'll show you an easy way to use your cardstock if you don't have that piece, or you prefer something just a little thicker. If you're using cardstock over pattern paper, it's going to be a little bit thicker. So if that's important to you, just have that in mind. If you're wanting to put this in a regular plain white envelope, this is a little bit thicker, so you either may want to make your own envelope or just make sure you've got a nice kind of sturdy, maybe even a little oversized envelope, because as you can see, it's pretty thick here. It's pretty thick. I think I gave it an 1/8 of an inch there on that end, so it does make that envelope pretty tight. Okay, so we're going to be working off of this pattern here, so let's get started here. And what have I got? Okay, so I've got 2 cards ready to go, and we'll get through most of it. I won't show you every single piece just for time's sake. These are some just the little pieces I did for like the inside of this card where you can write your messages, your sentiments. We can set that to the side for now. And then let's get to the base of the card here. Okay, so this base, when you're cutting, normally on your 8.5 by 11, you cut right down the middle either way to make this card. But on this one, because of that extra 1/8 of an inch, you do need to kind of cut it that oblong direction. Whereas this is going to be 5.5. You're not going to cut this on the 11 side. You're actually going to cut it on the 8.5 side, because this is an 8.5 here. This is 8 and 5/8, and that little extra, you need that larger side of the paper. So grab that paper and flip it, and then we'll get going here. So what I do when I want to score this, the easiest way I have found is just to do 4 1/4, flip it, 4 1/4, and that way I'm not doing a whole lot of math when I'm just trying to put my cards together there. I don't want to just fold, turn it like that, and look, it automatically then you'll have your 1/8. So there's your binder, right? There's the kind of that part of that book, the binding. So you've got that all. Just an 1/8 of an inch will be great. And then we want to go ahead and score it. It's a little tricky on some of these. I'll tell you, this is the part that why this may be a better card if you've got a little bit of experience with some of your tools, because getting that scoring when it's only an 1/8 of an inch just takes a little bit of patience there, so you don't mess it up. Kind of track where you're going with it. So now we've got that edge of the book. See, already stands upright. There's your edge of the book. And then I've got the back of the book here. So this piece for this inside is 5 1/4, 5 1/4. So I gave myself a little bit on top and the bottom by 9, because we're going to be doing some scoring in the middle here, which will do that mountain and valley to hold each of the pages inside. So then let's get this one out. So since I'm using DSP, I like to use my scoring tool that has the larger bulb, because I don't want it to tear. And we're going to score this first at 4 inches, 4 inches, and then I'm going to do 4 1/4, and then 4 1/2, and then 4 3/4, and lastly 5. And of course, I'm going to put all of these measurements for paper, for scoring inside the description. So if you can follow along, great. But if not, don't worry. I'll put all this in there for you. So then you take this paper, whatever color, whatever pattern, use your favorite. If you're doing Christmas cards, birthday cards, again, I've been making these like crazy lately, and I really enjoy it. It's just such a pretty way to show all the different patterns and how they come together, and you can be really eclectic with it also this way. So then we'll do the middle one. Okay. And then I come back on, you can do this anyway, whatever you're most comfortable with. There we go. To get that in there. And then the last one will be like that. Okay, so when we're done with the 4, 4 1/4, 4 3/4, and 5 scoring, and then we're just gonna kind of push that all together just so you can kind of see how this is coming together. See this? There you go. So now you've got all of this scoring and it's all secured. So you've got that perfect little rim, and we can secure that inside of our little book. Okay, inside the little book. You can use either glue or tear tape, whichever one that you like. And I like to make sure that I get this, what I'm going for, my goal, in case my head's in the way when I do this, is to get it right on the edge of that fold, both the outside one and this outside one on there. So if you feel more comfortable with glue, because you can move it around, that's great. If you prefer tear tape, that's fine too. I do prefer tear tape because it's not going to move on me, and glue, especially for the video, kind of takes a few minutes to dry, and I just want to keep moving. So I'm just going to measure some tear tape out here. Okay. And I do put it on the paper. I think it's really important whenever you're using anything like glue or tear tape, anything that's a securing device, you want to put it on the smaller of the elements, because if you overestimate, then you've got glue or tear tape or whatever else sticking out. So then what I do, so I don't worry about the back of that, is I'm going to tear this off. And since we don't have anything else, there's really no right side up on this yet. So I get this and I come right down onto that fold line, and then I go down. There we go. Okay, and then I do the exact same thing with this side. And there may be a little bit of puff in the middle, but that's okay because it's going to hold together. You're going to have cardstock on here in a second, and that's not going anywhere. So it will hold its own. It's a great way to use the tear tape. I feel like it's going to hold up really nicely. Okay, let's get this. Okay, you know how it is. It's always just getting that one little corner loose. There we go. Okay, so this is the harder one just because I can't always see as well, but I really want it right on that fold edge. There we go. Okay, so we're in. There it is. And what we do next then is we secure our cardstock to this. See how good that comes together? And this also, you can either use tear tape or glue, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna stick with this pattern. I have been happier when I've put the tear tape in this instance. I've done it both where I put the tear tape onto this or onto the cardstock, because when my cardstock is the exact same 5 1/4 as the paper that's already secured down, I'm not worried that I'm gonna have any overhang. But if there's a larger piece, again, you want to make sure you're on the smaller side when you're putting that securing device down. So just make sure you're right on the edge, because this is going to go into that crease. Okay. Just trim off this end. Won't be visible. There we go. You can do either the outside or the inside, really doesn't matter. Just know that wherever you're going to secure it, you'll see a little bit of that paper extending. You'll see what I mean when we get this all done. Okay, let's do like that. And I'm just going to get it right at the end. I've got a little bit of glue there, get that out of the way. And then just press it down and it's secured. Isn't that great? Okay, and so then I can do the same thing on this one. This comes together really fast once you get your paper cut. That's probably the part that takes as long as anything else in here. Sorry for my head. I just want to make sure I get this right on the edge of that. Okay. And then that out of the way. So again, line up my paper. It's the exact same height. Close this down. And there we are. It's already coming together really fast. So I'm going to use these two pieces for my outside cover. I'm going to save those for a little bit. And then I've got lots of trash. These other, I have a bunch of paper to use that I can put anywhere. However I want this. What I did like in the last one was having this contrast right in the front. So I think I'll put that one there. And maybe I'll use the two yellows in the middle. And then this flower in the back. For those of you that are wondering, where did she get this paper? This is the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up. I don't think it's still available. And the stamp sets that I've used are the Art Gallery. This one, this one, this one, and that one. And then the flowing flowers, I feel like they just are a perfect complement. I've used all three of these flowers and this happy birthday sentiment on one of the spots. So that's what we're doing. Okay, just so you can see that. Stuff out of the way. And let's glue some more paper down so we can show how this all comes together. So I've got a new pack of glue. Oh my gosh, I've gone through so much glue lately. I do love this Tombow because what I like about this glue is that it never gets so stiff that it impacts the integrity of the card. Sometimes you want it really stiff for other projects, but I feel like for card making, I want it to stay pliable and bendable and soft. So this is just a great glue for that. So I'm pretty devoted to the Tombow. Okay, so it gives you just a couple seconds there of wiggle room. So while I'm talking and not paying 100% attention to what I'm doing, here we go. So yeah, I love this paper though. I just thought, how do I decide which patterns? I don't know what should be my theme. And this way I'm not just slapping one whole giant piece of paper down, but I can actually make it into kind of a little art project here. So there we go, there's that. And then last but not least here. So yeah, I had wanted to do this video since April. And then I got an order from a local company. They wanted 20 birthday cards for their staff. And so I put that together for them. And then they came back and said, oh, our other office wants another 20. So I was so busy making 40 of these cards, plus Mother's Day. I had 7 Mother's Day cards to send out. I've got 6 for Father's Day ready to go out. So it was a lot. So for this card, there's 2 different ways you can do this. Oh, 3 actually. I said we can either do with the Bellyband, and I'm going to show you this way with this tag. So what's going to happen is this will be on the front and this will be the tag underneath. So it's really important when you pick, if you want to do the tag, whatever sentiment or image or punch out you're going to do, that your tag can easily fit behind it. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. The first thing I like to do though is I want to secure this to the back because I don't want this sticking out on top of the pretty paper. I just don't like the way that looks. So that's just me though. Whenever I see the tag kind of sticking out on top, I'm like, did they forget? Were they doing it out of order? That's just the first thing I think of. So put some glue on there. And then let's go over here. I got it on a ruler. So I'm going to get to about, let's see, this is a little over 5, it's 5.5. So we're going to go to about 3 inches. So let's get this kind of right there around the middle. And there we go. So I get that nice and secure. There we go. Give that just a second. And while that's getting secured, I'm going to go ahead and glue these on the front and back. I don't know that I have, they're both so pretty. Do I have a preference? I think I kind of want this one on the front. Oh gosh. So I'll just do this one on the back. They're so pretty. So I do, when I cut my paper also, I rarely just like start chopping. If I'm in the middle of a project that I know, you know, I'm cutting this paper right now for this project. I'm not just cutting it down to save space, but I like to cut the images so that I get the best flowers. Like this one has a lot of yellow because of the So Saffron paper. So I wanted to make sure that I was cutting very intentionally, just to have all that on there. I thought these little flowers were so pretty. Oh my gosh, so pretty. So let's do this, get some more glue on here. Almost done. This came together so fast. Once, again, the longest part is probably cutting all your paper up. And so if you like this card a lot and you want to do a few of them, you know, you can just sit and turn your favorite TV show on and chop paper up for all your, for all the cards you're going to make, and you'll be set. For this, what I have found to be easiest is I want to put my dimensionals on the back of this, make sure that this fits securely in the middle before I put it down. So happy birthday, so we want to avoid this side because we want this tag to go through it, okay? So we're not going to put any on that end. So I want to get this right on the ends here. Okay. Here we go. Let me do, since I can't do any on this side, I'm going to put just a couple more on here to make sure that it stays secure. So let's do this one here just to make sure, because they do probably take a little more pressure than other parts of the card with the pulling thing. So let's do like that. And so this is, see how that comes together? So that's going to be what we go for when we're sticking it down. So I take all the backings off. Okay, all done. And so then to here, make sure that's secure in there, but I want this also centered. So there we go. See how easy this card is? Isn't that pretty? Look at this. And then I can decorate this later with these little pieces, just cut down. I can put either stamp messages, or I can do handwrite messages. I can do on one page, I can do on all 4. I could slip a gift card in here. Super easy to make this into a really, really special card that has a lot of content to it also. So that's the one way, and I'll set that aside. And now I'm going to show you this way. Now my main focus on this one is, since you've seen now how to put the card together, but I want to show you the option if you don't have that large piece of paper that goes, what did I say it was? 5¼ by 9. So if you don't have a 9" and all you have, if you're using your scraps and they're smaller pieces, you can still do that. What you're going to do, get these out of the way. And for sake of time, I won't put the entire card together because you can reference that, but I'll show you what you do. So you take this piece here, and this is, let me look at my numbers here. It is 5¼ by 2 inches. 5¼ so this is 2 inches here, okay? And then I scored it, okay? I scored it at 1/4, at 3/4, at 1 inch, 1¼ and 1½. So there's 5 score lines. Just like in the other one, we're going to do the mountain and the valley. And then you secure that in here and you can go forward and the card's exactly the same. Okay, so this will go against, and I like to fold all of my one directional first. I do all that, I don't know why. And then I can go back in and do the other angle. And it just has, for me, worked out a little better. So to see how we've done this, so let me get this a little tighter on the scoring. There we go. So we got the base down like this. Okay. And then okay, like this. And then the last fold is that one right there in the middle. Okay, so this also, again, you whatever you prefer, whether it's tear tape, glue, you just want to make sure that it's got a really good hold. Some things it's not that critical because you know, they don't get a lot of tension on them, but this has a fair amount of tension on it. So we've got this ton of tear tape, or I think I've even got a wider one. Let me see if this is a little bit wider. Yeah, that'll work. So I'll go ahead and put some pieces of tear tape, and you'll see this. Oh, that's the same. Fundamentally the same card, just gives you a few more options, because sometimes the paper I want I've already cut on, I've got scraps, but I don't want it to go to waste. I just have to figure out the best way to use it at that point, that's all. Okay, and of course I've got one little piece here. Okay, let's just trim that off. There we go. And then we'll do another piece on this side. Okay. So yeah, this is such a pretty highlighting card. Okay. So then we're going to go inside here to where we have, let's make sure those score lines are tight. Go back on this again. There's the one angle. And this is, again, it's only an 1/8, so just be patient trying to get that second fold in there. Once it's there, it's easy to work with, but the first time the paper will resist a little bit, and then you'll melt. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to secure this down. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to come in like this, right onto that fold line, and then just press. Okay, and then the same thing on this side. The second side, using the cardstock, again, you're dealing with thicker paper, so it's a little, just, you know, don't rush it. Just take your time getting into that fold line with that glue, and there you go. Super easy. So again, from here on out, you can see already, I don't know if, because I can feel it's already thicker just using the cardstock than when we use that pattern paper. But you're going to do the same thing on the inside, except instead of with that one background, remember you're going to secure then these two, or you know, pick your two that you like for the back. And then you'll glue these down. Okay, and I'll just keep going, but for those of you who are like, get to the point, how'd you do the ribbon? What I do for the ribbon is I take a piece of about 16 to 20 inches. And I, again, just to make sure that it never comes loose, that nothing ever goes awry with it, I lay it out like this. I'm gonna secure it down, and then I put my cover over the top. Again, I don't like it to be on the outside. I don't like it to have any vulnerability there. Some people just use a little bit here. To me, over time, that's just gonna pop loose. So I just sacrifice the ribbon. I do a nice long string of it. And let's see if I've got some right here. Okay. So again, I'm looking for the middle. So 1, 2, and about 2.5. And then I'm going to take my ribbon. La, la, la. Let's see where the middle point is. And then I just move it down. And this will, come on, slide. Slide right like that. And then I'll do the same thing on the back. It's easier once you get the first one down to get the second one and just hold it taut. And then I secure the cover and it covers the top. So I'll just keep going through this one and you'll see how easy this is. So where's that second? Here we go, under here. Okay, so then, so none of this will be covered on the front necessarily. You can put anything you want to decorate the front. I haven't gotten that far what I was gonna do, but I'll put this one on the cover. But I just think this is such a nice way to, you know, kind of extend the card a little bit. Sometimes I see cards out there and there's barely room for me to even sign, much less write anything. And sometimes that's, you know, that's okay if you just need to say a thank you. But if you want to do a little more heartfelt note, this is a great card for that, or having multiple people to sign the card. If you're one of those families where everybody in the family signs the card, everybody line up, you know, we don't sign this. I grew up in a home where one person kind of signed for everybody, but then I found myself in a family where we, you know, everybody signed individually. And so you saw all the signatures and it was a little more personalized that way. And so then in here, what I can do, so let me do actually, I'll secure these. I'm going to use, again, you can use tear tape or glue. I do like the tear tape inside. Super easy on the inside, that's for sure. Okay. Go. Get it right on the edge, as close as you can to the edge, because these are the same lengths. And if you go a little over, no worries, just flip it upside down, trim it off. Okay. And then I'm just gonna peel that part off, slide it in to that groove, and close the card on top of it. And that's not going anywhere. That's nice and secured. Same thing then on the other side. Now at this point, since we have the cover, the other thing you want to pay attention to with your paper is if it's directional, and most paper seems to have some kind of direction. Not all. This yellow and white, clearly no direction. But the flowers, they look like they're watercolor and all, but you can see the leaves have an up and a down. And then, oh my gosh, I wonder if I've got this one paper to show you. Drove me crazy because I thought I had the direction figured out. It was a bunch of birds on it, but sometimes the birds go one direction and then lower in the paper, the birds are the other way. Who does that? So I'm not using that paper anymore. Anybody want some bird paper? Because it drove me crazy on my projects. I thought I had it all figured out. I cut it and the bird's head's upside down in one of the images. I was like, nope. Not doing that again. So when I glue this down, you'll see the seam. Just want to make sure your paper, you'll probably be happier if that covers that edge there. And I think that might be a good, maybe we should do the yellow there now. Let's see if I like that better. And then I'll just do the other 4 with the flowers. So we'll come in here like this, trim that down. Actually though, these aren't probably cut for that. Oh well, I'll just trim the other ones. You're with me for this, right? So, let's just see. Always better to have it a little too long, cut it down, than to be down to, oh, isn't that terrible when you're down to your last piece of your favorite paper and it's not quite big enough for whatever you're working on. Oh, that's so frustrating. And so there we go. But that's a great time to break out your stamps and everything else, and you can usually make it work. So let's see now. I've got several of this paper and I've got some of this paper. So I've got 2 and 2. So I guess I'll do, let's see, that's a pretty one. You can see how when you hold them up that there's a lot of different imagery on there. So pick your favorites. I guess I'll do this one on that front cover. And before I glue it down though, make sure I'm going the right way. Oops. Let's see. Am I going, see, upside down. Okay. That's why I do this. Okay. So then let's glue that piece down. And then on the back cover. And we've all done it, all of us. So don't feel bad if you do it. We've all done it. One of my favorite, I can't think of her name right now. Oh my gosh. Every other video, she's doing one of them. She glues something upside down and she just bursts out laughing. And she's just so much fun to watch. I just love her cards. It's actually just relaxing to watch her videos. Love them so much. She makes me laugh. I gotta find her name and I'll tell you guys next time. If you're not subscribed to her channel, you should definitely subscribe. Jan B cards also highly recommend. She just has some really creative ones. And this is not a difficult card, but gosh, I didn't see anybody else doing it. And hopefully I gave you some other ideas on how to do it. Kind of, you know, added on to the way she showed us. By having not only the, see there's, I think this is up because there's the leaves. So not following the flower, follow the leaves. Showing different ways to make it work for you. If you like the tag versus the ribbon versus the belly band, whatever closure you like, and having that flexibility for the how to secure them inside, whether you use the cardstock or the DSP. So there we go. So now we've got 3 different ways that we've done this card. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I've already got my next card idea ready to go, so I'll be sharing that with you here, I hope within the week, if I can get myself organized. So this is what we have today. So hopefully you enjoyed this and look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.